G'day, my name's Blake Austin. We're down here in Mandurah in Western Australia, Perth. And today we're going to go through the installation process of our tilt-lock spigot, tilt-lock side fix 82 in black. So we're going to go through the process step by step and show you how to mark it out, drill the holes and put all the fittings on and install the glass. Step one is finding our starting point for our level. So on a big job like this, we need to go and find the highest point of the job. Today is about 30 meters. On a normal sized balcony, it would be 5 or 6 meters. It's pretty straight across the front edge. On a large job like this, we have to go around and take the measurements from each point of the balcony. So we'll take the measurements from corner to corner. We'll work out the highest point, and then we'll start our mark out from there. So the process of doing this is so then when we install the glass, we can make sure that we have the height of the glass to the set regulation. So by doing that, we've gone around and lasered each corner. So we've got the measurement from corner to corner. So you can see the discrepancies in different heights from corner to corner because of the fall in the balcony to allow the water to run off. So I'm just going to explain to you how we got the height for the glass and our starting height for the spigot. So today we're using standardized glass. So standard height panels of glass, they're 1200 high. So what we've done here is we've worked out the throat of the spigot. So we know that's 110 mil. So by doing that, we can work out where the spigot's going to start. So we've got 110 mil here, which we've got here because this is the highest part of the balcony. So we want to make sure it's going to work. So we've got 110 mil, and then we want to be able to set the spigot. So then the 1200 is in the bottom of the spigot. So it gives us a minimum requirement. So 110 mil to start with, and then we can mark it out from there. So once we've worked out where the top of our spigot is, we can measure down from the top of this to the center of the first hole, and then the center between the two holes. So the detail we've got here is we have 22 mil. So that's from the top of the spigot to the center of the first hole. And then we have 75 mil. So that's in between the two center fixing points. So what I'm gonna do here is I know that's the top of the spigot there. So we're gonna measure down 22 millimeters, which will give me top of the first hole. And then I'm gonna measure down 75 millimeters. So these 2 points here will be my fixing holes for the threaded rods coming out of the back of this. So now what we need to do is we need to level these around both sides of the balcony, all the way around the entire balcony, and that'll give us our level point so that we know where to start from. Going around and we've chalked our lines across the wall. As you can see here, we've got our blue chalk line. So that's at 75 mil spacing that continues around the entire balcony, which is the two centers. So that's the center for our chemical rod. So they're the two center points. The lines are chalked. So next we come to our panel layout. Now here with the panel layout, because we're using standardized panels, these are the standard panels that we're using. 1750, 1700, 1700, 1750. So what we're doing here is we're taking the overall width of the balcony, which is 7067. We're dividing that up between these standardized panels, and then we're just working out our gaps. So here it works out as 42 mil gaps between each one. As you can see on this balcony here, because we're using standard panels again, the gaps are slightly different, 44 mil gaps. This is because these are standard panels. These are fixed size panels off the shelf. So this CAD drawing was done at the workshop before we come to site. We were able to get the measurements of the balcony. We'd drawn it in AutoCAD, and then we worked out the offset of the spigot, because you've got the offset from this spigot here from the wall to where the glass sits, which we know is about 40 mil. So we were able to work out the corner gaps in AutoCAD, but this also can be done by hand on site as well. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how we mark out the panel, and we space out the spigots for each one. So we'll start with this one here, 1450 panel. Just drawing up this little diagram here. So this is our 1450 panel. So this is our width, and we want to work out the spigot spacings from each edge of the glass. So what we recommend, and also the strongest position for the spigots, is 20% in from each end. So we'll take our 1450 panel, We'll divide that by 5. So it gives us 290 mil. So that's our measurement from the end. So we're 290 mil in from each end. So now we're going to go down here on the wall. And because we've already done the AutoCAD drawing, we know where the end of the panel is going to start. So I know that the panel is 50 mil. It's 50 mil from the end of the wall. And now we're going to measure in our 290 mil. From there. We'll put the measurement for the end of the panel. So 1450 panel, which is there. And then we'll do the same on this side. We'll measure in 290 mil. 290 mil. Okay, so once we've got the marks at the top here, we need to transfer them down to the bottom. So we're doing that, we're just using a small little level. We'll just level that line down. And gives us a mark top and bottom. We'll do the same on the other side as well. Make sure it's nice and level. Plumb that down. Now I like to use a texture at the end to make sure that the mark doesn't get washed off or somebody wipes it off by accident. Now there'll be our center fixings for the rod. You can always get the spigot again and just double check it to make sure your centers are correct. So you can see that the 2 holes are lining up with the holes in the back of the spigot. So that's going to be our position for the finished product. Alright, so we just finished marking out the entire job. As you can see here, we've got our black X's on the wall where we're going to start drilling. So before we get into the drilling process, I'm just going to show you the tools that we're using. So we just got a 5-inch angle grinder. You could use a 4-inch as well. And then we're just using a 14 mil diamond core bit on the end there. Benefit of using on the grinder is a lot quicker than a drill, so it cuts a lot faster. 14 mil masonry bit as well, and then we've got our chemical tool, so chemi set, chemi gun, blower to clean out the hole. That's about all we need, so I'll get straight into it, guys. Now, as you can see from the drilling there, putting as much pressure on the diamond core and also giving it a little twisty motion as well helps it to cut a bit quicker. Keeping the guard on here is a good idea as well, so you can use your hand to guide the grinder and you can also put more pressure on it as well. So we haven't drilled these all the way through the tiles. We've stopped about 3 mil from the back, so then the tile bit doesn't get stuck in the end of the drill each time. So what we're going to do now is just going to push these downwards to break them out. Now we don't want to push them up, so if we push them up we risk cracking the top of the tile with a screwdriver as well, so we want to push these downwards, and then for the bottom one push up. Once they're broken out we can finish cutting the rest of the hole with the diamond bit. Okay, so that's the hammer drilling complete, all 4 holes are all hammer drilled all the way in. Now we're going to clean them out with the blower. Been blown out and then brushed and then re-blown again, we're ready to put the chemical anchor in. So now the first part of the chemical anchor you always need to squirt out because it's got a bit of liquid in the top here, so we'll just get that out on the board. As you can see, stop that from going onto the floor like that. So what we're going to do is just put a little bit in to start with, and then I like to get it in and mix it up as much as we can. Now by doing this, gets all the dust particles or any leftover hammer drill dust that's in the hole, and the same for the bottom one. mess as we go. Okay, put that in there. Put it here to make sure it doesn't drip. Now when putting the rods in, we always recommend to twist the rod as it's going in as well, so it will push the chemi, and that'll push the chemi back out, as you can see. So keep twisting. It's starting to squirt back out. We'll do the same for the bottom one. So keep twisting it as it's going in. Okay. Just give them a little wipe down. Now the measurement for these spigots here is 15 mil out of the wall. So we'll just set them at 15. Okay, they're set at 15 mil. Just grab the level, make sure that we're still plumb. Okay, and that's still in the center of that black line. That one's still in the center of the other black line. So now we'll let them set, and we can start fitting the spigots. We've got our different coloured plastics based on what thickness glass we're using. Here we've got our diagram. Our diagram will state what we're using. So for us today, we're using 12 mil glass. We'll be using a yellow gasket and a red gasket. So yellow and red. One yellow, one red. These ones will be scrapped. Okay. We've also got a special tool as well. So we're going to grab one nut. Grab our 19 mil spanner. Just going to nip them up. We don't want to tighten them too much to start with. Nip them up. We're going to check to make sure it's level. Nice and plumb. First panel of glass in here at the moment, so we're just going to demonstrate how much movement the glass has got each way using the tilt plates in the spigot, as you can see. So that's maxed out and then maxed out the other way. So we've got 25 mil play each direction. So what we'll do is we'll hold the level on the glass where we want it. Level. Okay, so I'm going to start tightening there, bottom one first. Yep. Top one. we've just fitted all the glass sheets on this front balcony here now. So we've got 4 panels in. So what we're going to do is go through, measure each gap, make sure all the gaps are even, and then we're going to go through, check the heights of each panels, and then we can go along and then level the panels and tighten them. So first of all, we'll check our heights. Just a small adjustment if the glass hasn't been manufactured to the right size.